bones. You tear me down. You let me go. Now we're strangers on our road. You let me go. Now we're strangers on our road. It gets cold in the fire, and you leave me here alone. Take my soul in the night. You break my bones. You tear me down. You let me go. Now we're strangers on our road.
You're tuned in to Grown Folks Production
In the mix.
with the commish, Nate.
All right, I told you we're going to be right back after a full day of Madden. It is time for OMFL Media Days. Day number 5, session 1. We'll be back a little later tonight, but we are here with our buddies Maniac and Crazy B-Man. We've moved around teams a little bit. Both these guys are going to have brand new homes, and so we're going to get started with that by doing some opening statements. Mr. Maniac, take us away.
Hey, yeah, so we're switching over from the Buffalo Bills to the Arizona Cardinals, the wacky west of the NFC that is. So looking forward to getting a new beginning, I guess, with a team that's pretty young. Definitely looking forward to rebuilding that team. There's a lot of good young pieces there, I think. So excited, man, to get started.
I forget exactly who was playing with them. Maybe it was Nicesonger, but somebody absolutely pushed my stuff in with them as we were warming up with those Cardinals. Crazy B-Man, you've got some new digs. You were talking with us today when we were streaming about them. Go ahead and give me some opening statements about those 49ers.
For the most part, they look pretty good. I'm kind of worried about certain players with injury ratings.
Uh-oh.
With those certain players have names attached to them?
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey. Basically, that's who I'm worried about.
He tricked us all today during the stream and said, oh my gosh, Christian McCaffrey got hurt. And I thought he was talking about a video game, but everybody else with us thought he was talking about in real life. And boy, the Google searches started right away. Well, Crazy B-Man, let's talk a little bit about Madden 25. How, just for those who don't know, you were with the Rams, but for those who don't know about your season, tell everyone how Madden 25 went for you, just in general.
It was really bad. I don't know if I can put it into words. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't stop anyone. I couldn't get offense going. Usually I have a good running game. That didn't really play out either. So that usually opens up my pass with the play action. But it just didn't work. I'm just ready for a fresh start.
A fresh start, indeed. It is upon us, Crazy B-Man. Maniac, you had those Buffalo Bills in Madden 25, and out of the gate, man, you were absolutely red hot. So tell everybody about how Madden 25 went for you.
Yeah, started out the gate red hot with the Bills. Actually, for the first 2 seasons, man, I felt very comfortable with the Bills and how they were playing, and I mean they're in Madden, they're a built ready squad to compete right out of the gate. Um, and then the wheels fell off. Season 3, I think I started out 0-3 or something like that, and then kind of snuck my way into the playoffs. Then got destroyed in the wild card, and then the final 2 seasons just it completely imploded in Buffalo. And I just kind of reflecting the other day about some of the stuff that probably I did wrong. I didn't keep enough draft capital. And see if I can get it out right. But draft capital to rebuild my team as they were aging throughout the Madden seasons, and so I did make some good trades. Brought in some guys, but when you're consistently drafting and giving up your first and second round picks, and you're always drafting in the third round, and for the first 3 seasons, I was drafting pretty late, so I didn't have the guys to replace some of the guys that were aging or leaving, and one of the things I found too in Madden, just the way it is, that the players didn't want to sign in free agency. They didn't like the cold weather. That was one of the things that was always like a indicator on the situation in free agency. Like, well, you're not high on their list because where you're at, or because you're outdoor team, different things like that. So some of that played an effect. Me not being able to actually bring in guys to replace some that I was losing, and I did hold it together for the most part, but again, just looking back, not enough youngsters that were building fast enough to replace some of the guys that I was losing, and so the team started out, I think, at 89 overall, when maybe 90 when the game dropped, and that's pretty much what they were when they left out with a lot of the guys that were going to bowl games and stuff. The final 3 seasons, they had 92 overall, 93 overall, 94 overall teams. So that's just one thing that look back, that Madden 25, I didn't do a good job of managing my cap overall with bringing in good players and drafting and keeping my draft picks there to help replenish the loss of really good players.
Well, it sounds like you've learned a lot of lessons about things that will help you in a Madden 26. So let's stay there for just a minute. What are some of the other things that you think you learned about you, your team building, your play calling, whatever, in Madden 25 that'll help you in Madden 26?
Obviously, just talking about the drafting and just managing the cap better. I think too, going into that Madden, I had the success early on. Like a lot of guys do. I've yet to win my bowl here, and so it kind of got me the taste in my mouth, and I got a little maybe too hungry for a championship, and it kind of affected me mentally. And I was going through a lot of health issues too throughout the. I know Crazy's also been having some of those issues as well as others, but um, just some of those things that you can kind of let affect you. Um, One of the biggest things I'm reflecting, just not put the pressure on yourself, on myself. Just try to enjoy the game for what it is, and I know I've been telling myself that every day when I load up college football. Just enjoy the game for what it is, even though it's not perfect. Just enjoy it for what it is. Try to enjoy the simple things, the small things, and then build from there. And um, I just think that going to the Cardinals, yes, it is a tougher division, even though I will give those AFC East guys some props. Those are some tough guys. Cincy, Lost Sniper, Massimo, those are some great guys. They call great games. They have great team building skills. So no slide on them, but here we're going into D Money and Meek Boy territory. I'm going to be playing Crazy also. These guys, Crazy beat me in this last game, and he's a solid owner, and so just going in from that standpoint, I've just got to remain calm with my situation, and look at it from just enjoy the game for what it is, and find, I guess, find the light at the end of the tunnel, no matter how dark it may get or whatever. And health wise, I feel like I'm getting better. I've lost, I've talked about in the health section of the Discord, and I've lost over 60 pounds, so I'm feeling great for that. um so that's one of the things I think, mental health wise, physically wise, this is just a game. Get in here, play, enjoy it for what it is, and and do the best I can with building. I'm definitely going to think twice before I start giving away my first round picks, this Madden. And definitely, D Money, if you're listening, no, you cannot have my first round pick. So
2,000 years later.
Let's hope that he doesn't do that. Crazy B Man, you moved over, you fought through the health thing and the team thing and the tough division thing, but what are some things that you learned in Madden 25 that you think will help you as you move over to those 49ers?
I just, as far as quarterback wise, I just force way too many passes that I shouldn't even throw. It's the interceptions. I probably had like 30 some interceptions with my quarterback, and yeah, I had like, I think he was a 1 year player that was trying to develop, and you just can't develop a quarterback when he's throwing that many interceptions. So I just need to play my game, stick to my game plan and not get freaked out when I get down by a little bit. Usually on defense, I'm pretty solid. I don't really give up that many rushing yards, and the pass usually goes my way, so it keeps me in the game. I just need to play my game and not let the better players get me out. So
Yeah, those interceptions, I think, are a lot of our thorn in the side. I know it is for me. Well, I want to talk about the character of your team. You were talking about how usually you play really good defense, and that's what keeps you in the game. What do you think is going to be the identity or the character of your team in San Francisco for Madden 26?
Fred Warner, I think he's basically what keeps everything together. I mean, they have good pass rushers as far as Bosa, and here in 26, I've noticed that can't remember his name. Michael Williams, I believe, he's an edge rusher, and he seemed to bring pressure pretty good for his rating. So I think
Manny,
basically,
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Crazy.
uh, I think basically, Fred Warner's gonna set the tone for what my defense performs at. So
That's a pretty good tone setter over there. I mean, that guy's athletic and he can still get it done even at what Madden would consider an advanced age, starting to sneak up there a little bit. It's crazy. I feel like we all, as our generation, has watched like 5 great middle linebackers like come into the league in San Francisco, run the league in San Francisco, and retire in San Francisco. And Fred Warner's sort of the latest of that. Maniac, what about you? What's going to be the identity or the character of those Arizona Cardinals? A team I think that like really needs an identity.
yeah, it's total difference between Bills and the Cardinals when you look at. I mean, Bills, you got Josh Allen on defense. They've been known for like immense pass rush, and then come over to the Cardinals now. It's like, okay, well, I don't have the 99 throw power arm quarterback, but I think really the identity that I'm going to try to, I guess, build here with the Cardinals is I'm going to get back to what really has helped me in the past, and that's being more uh, efficient with the ground game, and then not so much being pass happy. Like I feel like I got towards the end of last Madden, I think I got pass happy, and I know running the ball was kind of hard, but I think I kind of abandoned that a little bit too much, and part of that was again, just team building. My offensive line was probably one of the worst in the OMFL as Madden 25 ended, and so I definitely want to be. That's going to be a different case here. I think I'm going to try to build where the Cardinals' offensive line is going to be one of the better ones to end Madden 26, and I'm going to put a little more emphasis on that. I think that's where kind of the things start. And looking back, there was like a lot of the issues I think I had just with turnovers and different things there to end the cycle. And I think the Cardinals, they have the opportunity, like I said, with the roster that they have. Um, I think there's room to grow. They've got a couple young offensive linemen that are really good. I'm importing a guy over. Um, I think one of the biggest players that I'm looking at, and I guess chomping at the bit to play and build with is Marvin Harrison Jr. A kind of pleasant surprise. I didn't know that he is an actual X factor. I didn't think that he was an X factor in the game, but he's an X factor. So I haven't had that type of wide receiver weapon on the outside in quite some time. I think with the defense, one thing too that I look at the Cardinals, they've got the ability to rush the passer with a little bit of that I've played online and just play the computer. Uh, there's some young guys and there's some veterans that are able to get after the quarterback, stop the run, and we got young cornerbacks too. And so like there's youth all over this team, and definitely I've got to manage that correctly. And definitely though, looking at what we've got to build, just being a stout team, a strong team, a team that relies on uh, the guys in the dirt and I know I've said this before on Press Pass Live where I thought cornerbacks and stuff were a big asset, and I still think that they're very important. But I think looking at how again that season ended, I keep reflecting back on how my Madden 25 ended, but looking forward though, learning from that, I just need to strengthen those areas and keep them strong. And some of these other players, I think, will progress as we go along. I think just having that grounded offensive line, that grounded defensive line, is going to help be the foundation for this team going forward in Madden 26.
Let's talk a little bit more one last time about Madden 25. What's got to be different? What what has to change, whether play calling or team building in Madden 26 for you to take the next step with the Cardinals?
I struggled with the playbook. Now I say that to start off with in Madden 25, I set up a playbook and it seemed like it clicked right away. And there were some plays in there that there weren't money plays, but I feel like most of my plays in my playbook were actually good grounded plays that worked on occasion or whatever, if I called it in the right situation. And then as Madden changes and stuff, sometimes those things change, and I look back and I think I was really too stubborn with my playbook. I didn't start expanding or taking away some things. I just kind of stuck with it. I think all the way up until the final season before I finally changed some plays on my playbook. And I am a creature of habit. I don't like changing. I think a lot of people, if you're honest, you don't like for change. But I spent a lot of time building that playbook. to start off, and I think that also played in some success that I had early on. But I think looking forward into this Madden, I've got to be a little bit more liquid, more flexible. And start taking notes. If I start seeing, I don't want to build a playbook that's entirely the same as D Bunny's or Dwayne's, or I want to have my own identity. But there's just sometimes like, there is some formations that are really good, and start adding them and taking away those ones that only work. If you run them 20 times, it's only going to work one time. Get rid of it. Put it on the cutting board and get rid of it. So I think that's a big area where I need to improve this Madden. I've already looked at it, and that's kind of where I'm approaching it. And I think that'll be a big thing for me in Madden 26.
Gracie, fresh start for you going over to San Francisco. A weird team, right? A lot of playmakers, a lot of superstars, but an aging team in some very clear areas. What's got to change for you, play calling or team building wise, to take a step in Madden 26?
I was kind of like Maniac. I just started passing way too much just because my run game wasn't working. I need to stick to my run game because I'm not the greatest at running, but it usually sets the tone for what I can do in the passing game. I'm not one of those, spread them out and just fire away. I'm usually pretty good about mixing it up and that kind of thing. And on defense, like I said, I'm usually pretty good in that. So I'd like to be able to be a better user with like the linebackers and the safeties, because I know I'm pretty horrible at that. So I usually try to limit the damage, like be a defensive lineman or something, and I just need to kind of evolve and get better.
The great safety or linebacker debate. Who do you want to use? Or if you're a Joker, the great, what defensive line am I going to cause havoc with? Crazy. Last one for me. Who are the top 3 players on the 49ers that you're excited to play with? And maybe like a one-word description on each of them about why you're excited to play with them.
Christian McCaffrey, I'm going to try to limit, overloading him to where, the wear and tear system really eats on him and gets him injured. But him in the passing game is just a big asset. Over in 25, I had a rookie that was probably had 94 speed and acceleration, and then I developed his receiving to the place where he was a good receiver out of the backfield. And there were times where I'd send him on a wheel and I just lob it up and he'd burn everybody. So I like that aspect. Yeah, so him in the receiving game's going to really help me, I believe. And then, of course, George Kittle. I like to use my tight ends usually when we get down in the red zone. That's a strength that I usually like them to be really good at run blocking also. And I have can't remember his name. I think his name's Willis, Brayden Willis. He's a really good run blocker, so I have that. And then, of course, Fred Warner. I'm going to lean on him to really stop the run, and he's really great in pass coverage, so really, really athletic. So I think that'll be really good.
Yeah, George Kittle, that's a heck of a tight end to be able to build a red zone defensive game plan for. He's going to be able to beat just about everybody. Mr. Maniac, what about you going over to Arizona? They've another like weird team that has like a lot of guys with potential, sort of in a different place. What three players are you most excited to get your hands on, and a one-word description on each about why?
Well, first comes to mind would be Marvin Harrison Jr. He's definitely very athletic. He's got, uh, I think he's got the perfect amount of speed and acceleration like that, and the body size and stuff. I think he's just one of those wide receivers that can be a, no pun intended, X factor type of player on offense. And I think if you would speak one word on him, I just think it's excitement. I think he brings excitement to the play calling, to what I can do on offense. Um, and then probably, I don't know, there's several guys that really kind of excite me. Also, uh, staying on the offensive side, I guess, Trey McBride, the tight end. He's really he's gotten better in Madden, I guess.
He was on my Saints in Madden 26 or 5.
Yeah, in the cycle, and you were using him really well, and so he's like a 92 overall now. He's 90 acceleration, 87 speed. So I think he lacks a little bit in run blocking, but we can always try to help build him up there with incentives and stuff like that. But I think he's just got all the tools to be that guy that. And I look at him. He's just a controller. I think he can help control the game for me on offense, and then looking on defense. This is a rookie, and we've all seen what defensive tackles can do for teams. You look at Bird, what he done with that guy in the middle. Look at the Bears. I think he had a really stout guy in the middle as well when he won the Super Bowl. And there's been others that have just kind of taken over the game with their defensive tackle and stopping the run, controlling that interior side of the offensive line. And this guy is the rookie, Walter Nolan. I think I think it said he's 20 years old in the game. I'm not looking at the actual age part, but I want to say that's what it said. So 20 years old, 75 overall, and he's got 87 strength, but man, he's got some power moves. He's already got some block shed. So then build him up, and I'm looking at by season 2, 3, this guy's going to be a monster in the middle of the defensive line, and that's just going to be one of those guys I think that's going to just grow and build with this team as we go forward. I'm not going to really much probably use him that much. I'm sure, like Joker, he would be loving having this guy to build up. But me being a linebacker guy and stuff, I'm probably going to use the rookie from Ohio State and try to build him up. But having that guy in the middle of the defensive line is going to help me as I'm manning that middle linebacker to create some plays on defense. So I just think that that big defensive lineman there, I just look at him, man. He's gonna be destroying those guys coming in the middle. So I guess that's the one word we're looking at, destroyer. So looking to make waves.
Yeah, he's going to be a big boy. He'll be fun to sort of clog up those lanes and allow your linebackers the freedom to flow. Crazy Maniac, thank you for making time and coming and doing this with me. It's been a ton of fun. I got a pretty lady that just walked in and poked her head in the studio, and so I know she's going to be ready for our date night dinner. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks for making time and coming to talk about your two new teams. It's going to be interesting to see the power is shifting around. People are moving around, and now it's going to be interesting to see like what happens over there with the Rams and 49ers rivalry. Now we got Maniac in the equation, so pulling for both of you and appreciate both of you, and thank you for making time again.
Yes, sir.
Well, fellas,
Thanks, Nate.
thank you, Crazy. That's going to do it for us. I'm going to get out of here, stop talking, breathe, and take this pretty lady out to dinner. And then we'll be back tonight with, why am I forgetting? I'm going to tell you here
Battlefield?
in 2 seconds with, Logan. Oh no, Logan can't. So Logan's gone, but Byron and Jay Glaze. So Byron and Jay Glaze at 9 p.m. And then like Maniac said, Battlefield. But I was trying to remember who's going to be on the next media days. All right, guys, take care of yourselves. It's been a long day. It's been a long 2 days, but we've given away a lot of stuff. Maniac won 98% of it. Bird won the other 2%. So if you're not Bird or Maniac, sorry, you don't really get anything. But I appreciate all of you. And we'll see you again tonight, okay? Take care of yourselves. Take care of those around you. Love you. Peace.
Smash that like and subscribe.